Okay, I'm going to consider this a part 4 of maybe up to 6 or 7 parts of how I assembled the A-Pillar gauge. So what I wanted to start off with for this part 4 is I wanted to point out, because this is after the fact, so the M3 screws that I used for that metal plate in this area, you want to shave off the once you tighten down everything. If you saw my last videos, you want to shave off those extra threads because they're going to hit the metal A-pillar frame of the truck itself, and it's not going to, if you don't shave them off, it's not going to clip in. It barely fits as it is. Half inch is apparently even too long there still. So if you use the metal plate, like how I did, if you saw my last video, if you use the metal plate route, make sure, so for those M3 screws, make sure you shave off the extra threads on those M3 screws once everything's tightened down. So that way everything can clip in. It's really tight back there. Up here, if you saw in my last video, the ground lug up here. If you saw part 3, remove the star washer and the split washer because even that's going to be too thick. It won't clip in. So I wanted to use the split washer in order to give it some sort of a, so that it continues to stay tight even through rattling, because I off-road. I don't off-road as hard as I used to, but all the little rocks and stuff like that you go over, like there's this one trail that I go on, the rocks are just, the little rocks are just brutal. It shakes the whole truck like a damn, it's crazy. But anyways, I guess I could have used blue Loctite to help, or purple. Probably be a little bit better with purple. It's a little less aggressive than blue. But yeah, so you want to remove the star washer and the split washer so that everything is able to, and the reason why it's kind of loose is because the clip, it's a little loose on the clip, so I'm probably going to remove this eventually and flare out those metal clips so that it clips in better to the A-pillar frame. But other than that, it's pretty solid. It is clipped in there, just not as good as you can see, right? It's only because that metal clip isn't as not as good. So I'm probably going to take this all out just to flare out those metal clips. So it clips there, clips down here, right around here, and then right at this area right here. Right, so that's the main point of this video, is I wanted to point that out. Down here, the only hard part is jamming this all in, right? Jamming all this in without pinching the wires. Just be careful when you're finally putting this down in this area. Just be careful not to pinch the wires. The last video I showed you how I fished it down here in this area. And it comes down here, and what I wanted to show you down here is this is just a quick setup. It's not hooked up to the dimmer switch yet, so that'll be the next video. I'll show you what I did there. But yeah, this is just a quick test. I have everything on the ADA circuit. That'll be another thing on the next video that I'll point out. But that's the fuse box right there, and there's the ADA circuit, right? And I have that connected to a cigarette lighter. So that's my 12-volt source for now, right? For the lighting only. The ADA circuit is already the 12-volt power for the gauges themselves, right? So that cigarette lighter is only providing power for the internal lighting of the gauges themselves. So, which that white wire, if you saw in my last video, that goes to the white wire for this guy, and then ultimately this guy. That's the 12 volts. The internal lighting ground, right, is connected to this ground lug up here, if you look at last video. So this is what, and again, that's just to kind of temporarily set up the lighting, as you can see. So you see the light, and then I want to show you the, and it's typically going to ride right around 75 at first, 70, 75, because the oil is cold. I already have the engine running for a little bit, so it's warming up. At idle, ultimately, it's going to ride around, that's 12.5, that first red mark, that's 12.5 psi. At idle, it's going to stay right around 12.5, 10, 12.5. To get any reading off the temperature gauge, the transmission temperature gauge, you got to drive the truck. So you got to work that transmission. And typically, it's going to fall between 130 and 160, or 160 and 190, as you drive it through off and on traffic. So it's going to ride around there. And so, oh, in the next video, part 5, I'm going to go back to the wire lengths, and I'm going to give you the actual wire lengths that I used to connect this gauge and this gauge up to the positive, and then up to the negative. So I'll do that on part 5 of the video. And then part 6, maybe it'll be part 6, will be the install for the lighting, right, to the dimmer switch, right, and then the yellow and the blue go out through the firewall and on into the engine bay where the sending units are for the oil pressure gauge and the transmission temperature gauge. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about too on part 5. One of you have commented that you're having troubles, your gauges aren't working. So I'm going to try and help you troubleshoot on possibilities, and explain to you what might be happening. But that'll be part 5. This one right here, I just wanted to point out the issues of hitting the metal frame, the M3 screws, and that negative ground lug bolt. So stay tuned for part 5, and I'll try to release that by tomorrow. So thank you for watching. I really do hope I'm helping somebody out. I'm going to try and help that one YouTube member out with his gauge issue, and I'll go into a little bit more detail on what to look out for Thank you very much for watching and your support. See you on the next video.